Testing. Testing. Can you hear me out there? Just testing my mic really quickly. Hello, Robin. How are you? All right. I guess we'll get started. How y'all doing out there? Welcome to the 13th installment of The Gray Area. Hello, Amanda. Exclusively on PPRN Radio. We are also streaming live on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitch tonight as well. This is your host for the evening, Aaron Kennard. And as usual, I'm super excited to be able to spend yet another evening with all you fine people. It is currently 8:13 here on the East Coast on a chilly December 7th evening. Yes, it's already December, believe it or not. Christmas lights and those corny ass Christmas songs you hear at the mall are finally among us. Speaking of malls, I hope you're all taking the necessary precautions while you're shopping and or looking around for Christmas ideas to stay safe. It's very easy to forget that this is indeed flu season and that we do still have the virus to worry about, especially around our loved ones. Uh, it's always a great night here on the Gray Area, and that's all because of you guys. Y'all have been absolutely amazing these past couple of shows, showing your boys some love and chilling in the chat with me. I actually look really forward to seeing and chatting with all of you on Tuesday nights, so I just want to thank you all for that. Um, and of course, those of you that are watching on Facebook, YouTube, and or Twitch, feel free to click the link in the description, and you can call in and speak with us tonight. Uh, if you missed What's going on, Mike? How you doing, brother? Mike is also a host of many shows on PPR and radio as well. So you definitely want to go on the website and see when he's live as well. If you missed last week's episode, we basically discussed a few hip gift ideas to consider for Christmas. There are a lot of game changing items that could make amazing gifts, such as the Peloton and the polyglue, which is actually a um, a voice translator that can translate in over 43 different languages, which is pretty amazing. I definitely want to pick up one of those myself because I know I'm not learning another language for as long as I live, probably. We also discussed the item shortage and what it means for us for the long term. We even discussed some pretty neat budget gift ideas as well. So last week's show was actually pretty awesome. Go back and check that out if you can on the Facebook Live. Um, should be a few posts down on my personal page. Um, how's everybody in the chat doing? You know, taking some time to let everybody get in. See, there's like 5 of us right now. How is everybody's day today? I know I had a busy ass day. Like I barely had time to sit around and do much, but today was a laundry day. Had to get a couple of errands done. Um, Still got to get like another piece put back on my car, and just been running around trying to get things ready. I haven't really been feeling too hot either, because I just restarted back on to my anxiety medicine. How how anxious, how down and out some people can get during the holidays. So I had to start back on my anxiety medicine today, but it just upset my stomach a little bit. I'm feeling all right. Yeah, I'm feeling good enough to be on this show, and I don't know if that's affecting my stomach or this Topo Chico sparkling mineral water that I'm drinking. Anybody who's ever drank Topo Chico knows that this shit has crazy carbonation, and most people can't even like take a sip without burping. Um, so maybe that's what's upsetting my stomach. I don't know. Amanda says her day was boring. I know currently you're in quarantine. So I feel for you, and I hope that you can get out sooner rather than later. Um, yeah, so I'm doing good. I've been just busy most of the day and haven't really had too much time to sit down and relax yet. I haven't played my PlayStation much today. All of you from last week know that I got a PlayStation 5 on Thanksgiving, which was pretty dope. Um, but I'll probably take some time and play a little bit after the show tonight. Um, but yeah, it's December. It's getting colder, and actually, obviously, it's the last month of the year, and it's crazy because um, this year went by terribly fast. Um, Really quickly, I do want to also mention I did want to make mention um, to give a special shout out to all my friends, family, bandmates, acquaintances, those of you that I know that are trying to build their own business or empire. Anybody trying to work on something and bet on themselves for a change, whether the circumstances have been good or bad. This has been quite a year of growth for a lot of us, and it's nice to see a lot of the people that I know and love finally coming into their own. And I really do applaud you guys for that. Um, does anybody in the chat currently have their own business they're trying to start, or any sort of thing they're trying to work on for themselves? Y'all already know about me. Being a professional musician, being a band leader of three different bands currently, and having this talk show. I'm working at it. I know that I'm not exactly where I need to be. Well, I know that I'm not where I want to be just yet, but I know that I'm where I need to be in order to get there. So I actually have a lot planned for next year. We will get to some of that before I get off this evening. Who do we have here? Let's see. But if you do have anything that you're working on as far as personal um, businesses or what have you, you can always drop the link in the chat. Or if you're trying to um, get somebody to follow us like on some sort of social media platform, and you're trying to do something for self betterment, we're definitely all about that here at the Gray Area. So definitely post your information in the chat, and we can get that out there for you. Um, let's see. So I want to ask you guys a question. Um, how are you right now different now than you were when the pandemic first began? Because obviously this pandemic has changed a lot of things for all of us. It's been rough for a lot of us. Very few people can say that this has been a great time for them. So I mean, how how did the pandemic affect you? Um, how are you different now than you were when the pandemic first began? I know that for me, and I think a lot of people can understand this too. I was very I took a lot of things for granted. I took a lot of things for granted. Um, I took spending time with my family for granted. I spent I took things like just going for a walk, like going to the mall, for granted. I even took music for granted, and it's kind of funny because yeah, like I mean I've always taken music seriously, but I hey Andrea, how are you? I've always taken music seriously, but I feel like I never took it as seriously as I should have. I mean, it's like it's like when it's not there anymore, like all those months that I wasn't able to perform, all those months that I wasn't able to get people dancing and uh practice towards something, or book events. really took a lot out of me. And I there was a time when I didn't think that we were ever going to get back to this point ever again. You know, it truly is a blessing to be able to perform in front of people and to do what some would deem therapeutic and as an outlet, you know. Um, and I'm glad to be back at least in a state where I'm able to perform for everybody once again, because that could have just as easily been taken away from us. There's no telling how long this pandemic's going to be. Um, but it seems like we're heading in the right direction. Of course, with this new Omicron variant, nobody really knows what's going on with that. We don't even know what's fully going on with the Delta variant. You know, it seems like it seems like everybody's blaming China. I don't know what to believe as far as that, but for all we know, all the things that we've been doing as far as um you know the chemtrails that like the airplanes drop the chemicals or whatever, or how we fertilize fertilize things using different additives that we know we shouldn't be using. Um, who knows if things like that, may have brought about something like this. It's kind of crazy to think about because um, humankind has been cutting corners for like millions of years. So honestly, it could have been anything that brought about something like this. This is not the first plague or first pandemic we've ever been in. This is just the most recent one. So I'm just hoping that um, science and technology will help further the banishment of this terrible virus that has taken so many of us and made even more of us sick. Amanda says um, she's different now because she's not in an abusive relationship anymore, and it actually helped you get away. Wow. So that's one benefit of the pandemic. I mean, not really the pandemic, but just like I guess being in the right place at the right time. I'm glad you're not in that abusive relationship anymore, Amanda. Um, and my heart goes out to you for sure. Peter says Mike loves men. Oh no, okay. I mean, hey, there's no shame. There's no shame here. If Mike loves men, that's his prerogative, you know. um, Miss Selma T, how are you? She says, "Hey," and Pete says, "Picture booze picture today while doing your show." Oh God, no! Oh man. I mean, it's hard. It's hard to get out of my head. Um, but I think I'll be fine, Pete. Yeah, so I mean, guys who just came in, I asked the question, how are you different now than you were when the pandemic first began? Um, I briefly explained myself that I I I don't take things for granted as much anymore. A lot of times we tend to procrastinate and put things off. Um, the only thing that's for certain nowadays is that nothing's for certain, and we should try to live every day like it's our last. Don't put off for tomorrow. How do you say it? Don't put off for tomorrow what you can do today. I think that that's a great thing to to live by for sure. Pete says, "Hi, you take me for granted." Pete, I'm trying to be serious here. But yeah, don't put off for tomorrow what you can do today. And if you're take it from me, because everybody who knows me knows my mother passed away back in April, and we were sort of like in the middle of not talking during that time. A lot of people don't know, so a lot of people are just hearing this for the first time, and unfortunately, she had passed away before we were able to make amends and be able to talk to each other. And I would give anything. I would give my all of my assets, everything I have right now, just to have 30 minutes to talk to her again. You know, and it sucks, and it's something that personally I'm gonna have to live with for the rest of my life. So if you're um fighting with a relative right now, or if you're at odds with a friend or somebody, um, don't hesitate to call them and just let you know, and let them know that you love them, and that you'll be able to get through whatever you guys were arguing about in the first place, because life really is too short. You know, you don't want to end up like me and not be able. And I'm saying this to teach you guys something. I mean, you don't want to end up like me and not be able to speak to your loved one again because it's too late. You know, so it's very important to treat to live each day like it's your last, and to also treat others the way that you want to be treated. I can't stress that enough. You know. Um, let's see. Now, I have another question for you guys. This is a pretty good question to think about. We're in therapy mode tonight, okay? um, Once the pandemic is over, what will you all do differently? Think about that. Take a moment to think about that really quickly. Once the pandemic is over, what will you all do differently? It kind of goes hand in hand with what I was saying before, but obviously, I'm going to. I mean, I'm not really going to wait till the pandemic is over to start doing this, but I just want to let my friends and family know that I love them more often, and that I'm thinking about them. Some of my friends will tell you, like, they'll get like a weird message from me sometimes, and like I'll literally just message my friends and just tell them, hey, just checking on you and showing some love, or I'll be like, hey, just thinking about you. I hope you're doing well and staying safe. I send my friends messages like this all the time, because you want to make sure that your friends are good. Like this pandemic has fucked everything up for so many people. There are people who lost jobs, lost homes, lost kids, lost parents, lost lost it all. I mean, lost lives. There are people who lost their lives, and right now is a very sensitive time for so many people, and it's hard to be there. Sometimes it's hard to be there for people when you have your own thing going on and you can't really be there for yourself. That's hard, and I feel for all of you. You don't have to do it alone. If you ever need somebody to talk to, you have access to my personal Facebook, YouTube, and Twitch account. You can always message me. I've been through. I may not have been through exactly what you've been through, but I've been through a lot, and I feel like I can definitely relate to a lot of what my friends and family have gone through. So if you ever need someone to talk to, reach out to me. You know, this pandemic has not been very kind to me, but I can maybe give you some pointers on what I've done to basically stay afloat, and I'm still here. So I guess whatever I'm doing is working so far, you know. So guys, let me hear from somebody. I see we have 7 people in the chat. My question was: once the pandemic is over, what will you do differently? Or even if you want to answer the first question that I put out, how are you different now than you were when the pandemic first began? Don't be shy, guys. By the way, for everybody listening on PPRN Radio, this is The Gray Area, hosted exclusively on PPRN Radio and streamed live on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitch. Let's see. Amanda says it's the same for you. What do you mean? What's the same for me? Um, Andy says pools and saunas. Wait, I don't understand. Pools and saunas is what you would do differently? Is that what you're saying? And then Pete says nude sunbathe. What? Oh my god. Okay. Hey, I'll take it. Shirley Bogues says, "Thanks, little cuz. It's good to know that you would listen to my talking. Anytime. Uh, Love you, cousin. And you can always message me or talk to me on Messenger or call me on the phone. I'm here. I know that that our family, Shirley, the Kennard family, has been going through it over these past couple of years. So I'm here just to listen if anybody needs to talk. Um, Amanda says you can always reach out to people in times of need. For sure, that's true. Um, it's hard because even though there are people that will listen, sometimes you need them to let it be known. Like otherwise you don't even know that they care. Robin says going through a divorce, finally shut down my salon, but I'm finding peace and a greater love for myself and others. And then she says, "LOL, y'all silly." Um, I'm sorry to hear about your divorce, Robin, but even though sometimes it may be beyond our comprehension, everything does happen for a reason. So I'm hoping that this divorce brings you clarity and higher knowledge um, for where you need to be in life. Um, what made you shut down your What made you shut down your salon? I know a lot of people shut down their businesses last year at the peak of the pandemic, but hmm, Pete says, "Can you cornrow hair?" I I can't, but I think Steven or Mike knows how to. Didn't you ask them? Pete says she should date as soon as possible. Oh my god. I'm trying to be serious, man. um Yeah, but another thing, as far as, um, oh yeah, nice. We have 9 listeners right now. Another thing I want to do when the pandemic is over, I know that it's really hard to visit family nowadays. I mean, I know people are still doing it anyways, and that's why the pandemic is still here, to be honest. But I won't get into that. Um, I definitely want to get family together um and maybe try to plan a family get together, a family cruise, or like a family reunion. My family is not the closest. We're not the closest family out there, but I'm hoping to change that. I see. I have a lot of cousins, a lot of family that I don't really know much about from my mom's side and from my father's side, both of which my parents are deceased actually. But I'd love to get to know both sides of my family and maybe try to get something together, have like a cookout or um, just try to spend some time together and get to know each other. You know, I'm sure I'm not the only one that doesn't know a lot of their family members, or a lot of their. I mean, I know briefly about my heritage. I know that I I am of African and Native American heritage. But I'd like to delve into that a little bit more and get to meet more of my family members. So that's the first thing on my list. Once the pandemic is over, uh, um, Pete says, "I know a good DJ. Am I invited, or white people can't come to the barbecue?" Pete, it depends on. Okay, so that's a good question. what determines? Okay, all right. I'm gonna need some help from my brothers and sisters with this one. What determines whether or not somebody um can come to the cookout? I think for me is just like as long as you just be cool, like don't say stuff like this, because then you won't be invited to the barbecue. Well, it's not even a it's called the cookout, not the barbecue. In order to be invited to the cookout, you gotta be just be chill. Just be chill. That's it. Robin says, I made it through the pandemic, but I didn't make it through being too nice as a business owner. The financial burden was too much since I moved out a year ago. Hashtag lessons learned. I could definitely relate to being too nice. Time and time again, I'll like lend money or do favors for friends. And at least in the past, I've been screwed over numerous times. And it seems like I don't learn my lesson because I'm just generally a nice guy, you know? And I can see that in you as well. Um, it is possible to still be nice, but just be firm, like be nice but be smart about it. I was not very smart most of the times that I've been nice to friends, acquaintances, what have you. um just just continue to be yourself, but don't give what you don't have. Or I guess what I mean by that is don't give. Okay, how do I say this? We can still be nice, but from now on, when you give in a way that you don't expect it back. Um, because a lot of times we put faith in people that would never put faith in us. Does that make sense? Just guard yourself. Just be smart about being nice, and you don't always have to help somebody. I mean, even though we may want to, we have to be able to take care of ourselves before we can take care of anybody else. Pete says, can we print shirts? And he said, what, you're saying you can make good potato salad? If you can make good potato salad, then you're in, bro. I'd let you come. I'd let you come through. Robin says, I'm the designated auntie. Sounds good. You're all invited. If I'm hosting a cookout, all of you are invited. Pete says, yes, I can. No raisins. The fact that, ew, do people put, hold on. Do people put raisins in potato salad? If so, that's disgusting. Oh my god. Never, please, never. No, no. If I see that, I'm throwing you and the potato salad out. uh G. Roy Crosby says, yo, cousin, this is Tone from Philly. A bunch of us had planned on surprising last year, but the pandemic got in the way. Yeah, yeah, no, I totally understand that. The pandemic was at its peak last year. And with this new Omicron and Delta variants, which we don't really know too much about, who knows what it's going to bring for the future. But uh, hopefully, getting these vaccines and wearing our mask and whatnot can help to alleviate that and get the numbers back down. Like I said, with these new variants coming out just out of nowhere, I almost wonder if it's something that we did back in the day. Like, remember when they were spraying for like the West Nile virus and whatnot, and they told us all to stay indoors? I wonder if it was something like that or something of that magnitude that may be causing something like this. Everybody says it's China. I don't know that it is. I mean, I haven't really done my research on such a thing, but I mean, why be so quick to blame China when we've already done so many backwards things here in America? Um, but hi, cousin G Roy. Hey, Tone. Good to see we got some love in Philly here. Robin says, I never expected back. I just need to be able to separate business from personal. Yeah, that's the nail on the head. What we do is, we use our hearts. We give with our hearts, but we don't think with our minds a lot of times. And I'm not talking about you, Robin. I'm talking about myself. I'm speaking from experience. We have to be able to separate the two for sure. My biggest flaw is that I do expect it back, and then I end up getting disappointed. But um, knowing to give and knowing to walk away, I guess, is the focal point of what I'm saying. Hmm. So, Pete, do you use? Wait, he he said I don't have to put raisins. Wait, do you normally put raisins in your potato salad? I can't mix fruit with food. Like you ever see people that like have the chicken salad and they put like walnuts and like grapes and stuff? I can't do that shit. I'm sorry. Nah, like give me like a bowl of grapes by itself and then give me like chicken salad with like white meat chicken, mayo, maybe a little bit of mustard and like some onion and whatever, maybe some celery. But that's it. Like maybe like add some egg, but like I don't want anything sweet in there. What are y'all thinking? I don't know. I've never understood that. Um um let's see. So what have you guys heard so far about this Omicron variant? Let's talk about it a little bit. Um Pretty sure like a week or two ago, it was only in the UK. Like they had two people that had it in the United Kingdom, and they were both already quarantined. Next thing you know, now it's showing up in Australia, showing up in California. Now we have it here in New York. Um, I don't even know what to say. But I'm hoping it's not deadly. I know that um, I know that Biden said that Omicron wasn't going to be a big um, point of worry. So I'm not sure if maybe it's like a weaker strain. Um, I'm hoping so. I mean, uh, but my I'm wondering if you know by taking the Pfizer, Moderna, or Johnson and Johnson vaccine, are we protected from the Omicron variant as well? Um, are we good from the Delta? Um, and that's the scary part, like it's almost like right after everyone decided, okay, we're gonna get vaccinated. Um, Now all of a sudden there's like two more strains out randomly. Um, it's some scary stuff. And one thing that I would be worried about, I mean, I know people are gonna do it anyways, but just be careful. Being around your family and everything during the holidays is something that's gone on since like years, decades, centuries. We've always been around family for major holidays like Thanksgiving, Christmas, and whatnot. Um, but just please be careful around your loved ones. Please don't. I wouldn't really be like getting all close and everything, especially if you have like older relatives or whatnot, because we tend to forget that you can be completely asymptomatic and still carry it. That's the scary part, you know. Robin says no, the vaccines don't work against the other ones. Are you serious? So then, so then, what was the point of getting the vaccines in the first place? I mean, like, I know they're different strains, but they're still similar enough to both be labeled to all be labeled as COVID. This is crazy. I don't know where we go from here. So basically, we've those of us that have been vaccinated, I'm assuming a lot of us have, because you pretty much can't do anything anymore up here in New York without it. We've all been vaccinated. We've all been um, shot up, basically. And now Delta and Omicron are here, and we don't have any protection against them. What do we do? Um, just hoping that we don't have to go into another lockdown. It doesn't seem like they're going to do the whole lockdown thing again, because it barely worked. When I say it barely worked, I mean like it barely worked as far as people agreeing to stay inside. People were still running around outside, refusing to stay inside, and that's why we still have COVID running rampant right now. Um, so I don't think there's even like a lockdown is not even an option anymore, because people are damn sure not going to listen now. Um, Giroy says, um, already, family, I'll be in touch via Messenger at work right now, but a bunch of the cousins are planning a getaway in the next couple of months. Much love, Tone. Thank you, Tone. Love you too. Definitely hit me on Messenger and fill me in with some of that information. Um, Love to get together and meet some of my cousins. I know a lot of them I met as babies, and a lot of them are like much bigger now. So I mean, that sounds fun. We got to get Grandpa Perry Kennard, probably your uncle, and a couple of the family from South Carolina too to come up, and maybe we can go to like Canada, or like get a cruise or something going. We'll talk about it. Robin says that's what I'd like to know. Yep, exactly. I'm not sure what they have planned for us now. I mean, we already took the vaccines. What more can you give us to combat this? And then when we get the next thing, there's going to be more strains. Ugh, I really don't know what's going on. I just hope that whatever it is, um, we can get through this together, and get through this in one piece. Amanda says they're making booster shots and stuff. Yeah, well, I already took the first two. I don't know if I would take a booster shot, considering that the first two are not. I mean, the first two apparently do their job, as far as nobody said that you weren't going to get COVID. You're still going to get COVID. It's just that it's going to lessen the Simpsons, the symptoms. Robin says, I didn't get vaccinated. I feel like absolute crap after having had COVID. I'm nervous about injecting a pseudovirus in my body. Mm, it's hard. I mean, I can only speak for myself, Robin. I had to get vaccinated because, one, um, being a professional musician, I have to play in front of people. I have to play around people, and I want to make sure that I protect myself, as well as protect the people that I'm performing for, or performing in front of as well. So I didn't really have too much of a choice in the matter. Um, Plus, like I said, it kind of hit a soft spot for me, because my mom passed away from COVID, and I had COVID a month before she did. I know that the times didn't add up. I know that the times didn't like intertwine or whatever, but I can't help but feel like what if I was the reason that she had passed away? I know it sounds really dark, but um, I try not to think about it. Um, is it I I got vaccinated because I don't want anybody else that I love to to succumb to COVID. Especially if there's anything that I can do to help that. I totally understand why you wouldn't want to get vaccinated. But it's getting harder out here. And just want to make sure that I can protect people that I love. Um, and I was nervous about it. I was scared. obviously didn't want to get vaccinated, as I'm sure many of us didn't want to. And honestly, right now, it's not seeming like it's helping too much, but, um, we got to stay strong in faith regardless, and just hope for the best for everybody, you know? Robin says, one of my friends got vaccinated and it did lessen the symptoms. Another got vaccinated and he died. It's really iffy. Not your fault, sweetie, but I get it. Yeah, yeah. That's scary. He got vaccinated and then passed away. How soon after did he die, Robin? That's scary. See, that's why like all these booster shots and whatnot. Like, I mean, if I was older, like in my 60s, 70s, 80s, you definitely want to consider getting something like that because you know something as simple as a common cold could be the end. So you definitely want to try to protect yourself any way possible. But like us younger folk, I don't know if it's necessary. Hmm. I have a couple of friends quarantining right now, and I have a couple of friends that have COVID right now, and they claim that they feel okay. But remember, when this whole pandemic started, everybody was just dropping like flies. Like it was crazy. I had a cousin who had passed away, literally was feeling fine and just fell out in the street. Terrible. Robin says not sure, but he was fully vaccinated. He was trying to convince me to get vaccinated after I recovered. Oh man, that's sad. I feel really bad for your friend. Um, Keep in mind that getting the vaccine can cause what's it called, myocarditis, something like that, where it's like inflammation of the heart or inflammation of the lining of the heart. Um, That's a very common thing, and it it's hard to, I guess, be aware of whether or not you have it or not. But you need to go check with your doctor every so often after you've gotten your vaccine for sure. You don't want to be stuck with that myocarditis or whatever it's called. Oh man. So Robin, when did you have COVID? I had COVID back in March of this year. I was terrified. And honestly, for those of you who haven't had COVID before, my symptoms were pretty. I mean, okay, so I started out with a terrible migraine. Um, about a day or two later, I had body aches all over. All I wanted to do was fall asleep. All I wanted to do was go to bed, go to sleep. Um, I went to the hospital, not because it was an emergency or not because I needed to, but just because I wanted to be in good hands in case if something happened to me, and nobody else was around. So I went to the hospital. They admitted me, and they were constantly checking my breathing. My breathing never went below 94%, so that was okay. And then excuse me, and then pretty much I just had the aches, and I lost my sense of smell. Um Aside from that, that's about it for me. And I lost like tons of weight. So after COVID, your boy was looking right. Your boy was looking good. But then of course, I gained a lot of it back because I didn't really know how to handle that my mom had passed away when she did. So that kind of screwed up my weight loss and everything. Um, Robin said she had it back in July. Um, And then she said the myocarditis is supposed to subside after a while. That's good to know. I thought that for some people it just stayed like that. She also says it's a monster. I had a runny nose, got tested to be on the safe side, and later that evening, COVID kicked my ass. Oh man, yeah. All it did for me, it made me really sleepy. Um, and I had the body aches. Like I barely could get up. It felt like how you would feel if you had the flu, essentially. One thing I will add though is that I had mucus buildup, tons of mucus buildup, and like pneumonia was forming on top of that. So I had COVID and I had pneumonia building. So they gave me a combination of meds to combat that, and the pneumonia did go away. It went away after the COVID though, so like I got rid of the COVID first, and then the pneumonia slowly left. But it was rough. I kept hacking up a lung, and it was pretty painful. But it's a blessing to still be here. It's a very scary thing, and I don't ever want to experience that again. And I hope that none of you have to experience it either. If you haven't, you know, I know that there's a couple of variants out there, and I uh, hope that we can avoid them all. You do wonder where everything's coming from, though. Robin says, I was so delusional, I was calling people on my phone and didn't even have it in my hand. Lord. Oh my gosh, no. They must have had you on the good stuff, Robin. Oh man. I would have loved to be on something like that. I would have been okay. I would have been good, you know? um yeah. The probably the worst thing, I'm not even gonna lie, probably the worst thing about when I had COVID was the hospital food. Ugh. Th- they needed my grandma in there, something, somebody to whip up something that I can actually like. I, like the noodles tasted like Play-Doh. The tomato sauce tasted like salt. I was like, what the hell? Like, I almost wanted to just like throw it out the window. Didn't want to hit nobody with that though. Yeah. Um. All right. Tonight was good. Um. I think we're gonna wrap it up very soon. Um. It's always a pleasure speaking with you guys. I love you all, and I hope that everybody's doing well and staying safe. Do not do just remember that weeping may endure for a night, and joy definitely comes in the morning. So you may be going through a rough time right now, but things will get better. Another thing to remember is that um what you're going through right now um may be rough, but there's always somebody dealing with something just a little rougher. So always remember to give thanks, and just be thankful for everything that you have, and for everything that that you've been given, because just as easily as you've received it, it can be taken away as well. um and you know what, I'm gonna tell you guys something. I wasn't going to mention this before, but a lot of my friends are always like, hey, Aaron, you're an amazing musician. You sing, you play the horn, you play piano, you have perfect pitch. Why isn't your show, The Gray Area, about music? I get that a lot. And Robin says, I'm glad I tuned in. God bless you, sir. God bless you, Robin. Thank you. Yeah, so like a lot of people ask me why my show isn't about music, because music's my bread and butter. And honestly, I wanted a show that showed a side of me that a lot of people didn't know, because a lot of people know me for my music, but a lot of people don't know me for anything else. But lately I've been thinking, I do have a lot of originals that I want to get recorded. I do have a lot of parodies that I think you guys might like. Y'all can see a funnier side of me as well. So I have something in the works. I'm not sure. I'm not gonna give any. Not gonna give any uh, details, any crazy details out about it yet. But your boy is working on cooking something up that's gonna be a fresh new product. Um, basically, I'm gonna turn this into something a little more advanced. Um, just need you guys to bear with me and just don't lose faith in me, don't lose hope in me. Just continue to watch and support and show your boy some love. And we're gonna take this show to greater heights than it's seen in its 13 episodes of existence. Um, yeah, so that's it. I hope that you all had a great time this evening with me. Thank you so much for listening, and stay positive, stay sexy, and you guys have a good night. All right, peace.